Hi, I'm Drew D'Amelia, and I'm back for those of you that noticed, which is probably nobody. I mean, who's even watching this chronologically anyway, am I right? Oh, and I'm glad that I decided to do my very first YouTube advertisement with AdWords. Hey, AdWords, thank you for doing a very 2003 thing and assuming that my country was not the United States by using location services, but instead just assuming that my country was Afghanistan by default because it starts with an A and it's the first in your alphabetical list of countries. Thank you for not even prompting me to change the country. I didn't even think that mattered, but apparently it does because now I have a bunch of subscribers from the Middle East. I hope all you Iraqis are really into my review of fucking Moana! Anyway, today's movie is Manchester by the Sea. Manchester by the Sea is a movie that came out fucking months ago, but I was fucking lazy, so what are you gonna fucking do about it? Afghanistan, bitch! I thought Manchester by the Sea was very good. I liked it a lot. It's a very realistic movie. It's all about not going with the Hollywood tropes and trends and instead trying to convey things in the way that they would happen in real life. And a lot of movies try to do this, but I think Manchester by the Sea did an especially good job of it. And I think that was in the details. It just seemed to throw in a lot of details that honestly seemed unnecessary and trifling almost all of the time. But that's what helps paint a really realistic picture. And honestly, I think these little details, I've always appreciated them in films. I don't know that I've seen them to the extent that I have in this movie, but I think it really does help to get you immersed into the real worlds, because these are the kind of details that you notice. I mean, there's a lot of trifling shit that happens all the time. My fucking ceiling is dripping. It's driving me fucking insane. Should we roll a clip of me being driven fucking insane and insert it into this review? Why not? Let's have some fun. Sound rolling. Timer going. Oh, you're kidding me. This dripping is going to make me rip my throat out. Has it gone? Oh, nope, okay. Fuck, I didn't need my throat anyway. I keep getting surprised. I don't know why I'm surprised. Fuck! Where I thought these details were especially noticeable was with the comedy. A lot of people are calling this a very dolorous movie, and it definitely is sad, but it's also surprisingly funny. Here's the thing, though. It's funny because they insert a lot of details, and you have this natural inclination to think, oh, that detail's not supposed to be there, so it's funny because it's an incongruous thing. But the movie does something really fascinating to me, and I have not seen a movie that does this. It challenges you to not laugh at something that you think is funny, because often the humor, it doesn't decide where or when it's going to strike. It doesn't pick the funny scenes in order to be there, or the serious scenes to oust itself. No, it's just everywhere, and there aren't even scenes that are necessarily dedicated to being funny or being sad. So, this is the best example. There's a scene, it's very tragic, it's super depressing, and you have a character that's absolutely miserable, and they're trying to carry her into the ambulance via the stretcher, but the wheels to the stretcher keep collapsing when they're supposed to be withdrawn so they can put it into the ambulance. So the two ambulance people are just struggling to get the wheels assembled properly so they can lift this grieving person into the ambulance. And I wanted to think that that was hilarious and that that was a joke. But I was sort of left thinking, maybe that's just another one of those stupid little details, and should I even laugh at it? Maybe instead of it being a joke, it's just an unfortunate detail. It was just really cool to me to have a movie be an experience like that, just making me question whether or not something should be waggish. Look at me using these $5 words. What an asshole am I? Aside from that, as a story, it's nothing too eccentric, but it's definitely a compelling story. It's slow, but it really grips me. I was fascinated with it, maybe just because of the immersion tactics that were used. The acting really helped. Casey Affleck was especially good. My boy Matthew Broderick, he made a cameo. He's finally getting cast in the roles that he deserves. It was good. It was a good movie all around. I especially liked... what's her name? She's hot. She's really good at acting. Michelle Donahue. Michelle Williams! Michelle Williams. She was great. Love her. Favorite actress. Here's a small spoiler, so just skip to this point if you don't want to hear it. What I really loved about the ending is that the main character, who definitely had a problem, it's always stipulated in Screenplay 101 that the character has to have a problem and then they have to change by the third act, but this character really didn't change. The character changed just a little bit, but not nearly enough to be satisfying. All it did was leave you with this bleak glimmer of hope going, well, maybe the character will change even more, but from the looks of it, this character is just stuck in this depressing rut. And that's what I liked about it. I mean, that was just a cool direction to go in. A depressing one, but a cool one. And you know what? It kind of had a weirdly happy ending. Just that tiny glimmer of hope. Even though it's not a lot, you're like, wow, okay. Maybe things are gonna be okay. Which, again, it's sort of challenging. Like, should you think that just because one little thing went right? Should you think that it's a happy ending? I don't know. But that's Manchester by the Sea. Keeps you on your toes. I'm literally on my toes right now, but that's probably more because I'm a short person. Also, alright, this is just a bit of a nitpick, and it's weird because I don't usually talk about things like this, but technically, there were a lot of shots where the ISO was really bad. I'm not even going to bother explaining what I mean by that, but they probably could have used a few more lights. It was a really surprisingly amateur mistake. I mean, I make that mistake because I have no fucking money. I'm just surprised that this movie didn't have a budget better than mine. Anyway, go see Manchester by the Sea, or don't. I liked it. I thought it was good. But, you know, bring the tissues for your laughing and crying, or, I don't know, masturbating? Matthew Broderick's pretty sexy. Anyway, that's all for me. Now get the fuck out of my house.